Oh, welcome to the fucking podcast. Right, okay. Let's do
We're
this.
professional.
Are you ready for an intro? It's going to blow your fucking socks off.
Go close to the mic if you can.
Right here. Okay, should we do it here? Hello.
Not that close. Fucking hell.
Welcome to the Dead Spot Cinema Club. I'm going to stay with you all night. You're safe with me. Right, mute yourselves, idiots. Hello, you're listening to the Dead Spot Cinema Club, the podcast where those classic movies you've been putting off for so long have come back to haunt you. We take one of our friends who has missed out on a cult classic over the years, we dig it up from the trenches and we make them watch. And we listen to them and their review. I am Reese, and please welcome Andy,
Hello.
Amy, and Mark.
Hello.
And we are going to be talking about Scream 2. So first of all, guys, happy anniversary. It's been a year.
Yay.
It's been 1 year since I made you guys watch Scream. You loved it, obviously, so it's taken you another year to want to watch a sequel, which is exactly as was intended. So today we're going to talk about Scream 2, the long-awaited sequel from Scream 1996. This one came out in 1997, less than a year turnaround between the first one and this. Actually, production started while Scream 1 was still in theatres. Wes Craven put the idea across to 3 movies initially when he got the green light for Scream 1, so he already had a few pages written for Scream 2. 50 million in the first week, and they went, go ahead and start production, pal. There was an 8-month turnaround. They started production mid-March 1997, and it came out in December. The highest rated in the franchise, with a Rotten Tomatoes score of 83%. Still the same director, Wes Craven, and still Kev Williamson in with a writing credit. Had a $24 million budget, which is almost double what the original Scream had, and a whopping $172 million at box office. It was so successful in the cinemas that Titanic and Tomorrow Never Dies pushed release dates back a week so as not to compete with it. So I expect you're incredibly excited, and as excited as I am to watch it for the 900th time. So we're going to go back through and remind ourselves who's not seen Scream and who has. So let's start with myself. So obviously I've seen Scream 2. I'm an enormous fan of the franchise. I've seen it more times than I could count. I won't bore you with the details too much, but Scream, as I said in the last one, is an incredibly important franchise to me. I watch them every year. I do a full marathon. I'm very excited every time a new one comes out. I've been a massive fan since I started watching. Yeah, very little else to say about it. I just absolutely love it, and I really hope you guys do as well. So, Mark, have you seen this movie? Have you seen Scream 2? Because you saw the first one, but didn't have a massive memory of it, but just about enough. How about the second?
Same, really. I do believe I've seen maybe the first 3 Scream films, but memory conflates with Scary Movie and other similar horror films, so couldn't say for sure, but I'm pretty sure I've seen this. No real memory of it. A few little plot points stick out. I don't want to go into too much detail in case I give away any spoilers.
Amazing. And then, Amy, how about you, mate? I hope you haven't seen the second one, because that'd be really weird, because you haven't seen the first, if you've just seen the sequel.
No, I've not seen Scream 2. I can still vividly picture Scream 1 whenever I go outside in the dark. So Scream 2 is going to be really fun, and who knows, full disclaimer, if I'll make it to the end. I hope I do. I enjoyed the story last time, just not the jump scares and the gore.
Watch it for the plot, yeah.
I'll definitely ask you guys some questions looking forward, but just, Andy, just reassure me you haven't watched Scream 2 between last year and right now.
I have not. I've been saving myself just for you, Reese. Don't you worry about that.
Good girl.
There it is, Andy. Handed it to him.
Were you trying to get it out of me again? Was that your challenge pre-recording? Was like, I'm going to try and get Reese to say good girl. Love it. Okay. I'm just going to do a quick revisit. I'd like to know what we can throw together about what we remember about Scream 1, so that going into this one, like, it's been a year, I kind of want it to be fresh in your memories, because the events of Scream are quite fresh in the memories of the movie Scream 2. So it would be handy for us to have a refresher. So 3 of you maybe just throw together what you remember about Scream 1. Let's start with Andy.
So the main character, whose name I've totally forgotten, her mum died a long, long time ago.
I think it was Mr. Scream we settled on.
The girl.
Mrs. Scream.
Her mum...
Sydney.
Yeah, Sydney. So her mum got killed, and we thought it was by a man called Cotton something. But it wasn't. It was by Shaggy. No, The emo and Shaggy.
Billy Loomis.
He's the like emo one that.
Yeah. So Billy Loomis and Shaggy, because they were our killers in the first one, weren't they?
Yes.
Spoiler alert, if anyone's listening to this for some reason. Amy, do you remember much else about the first?
I remember the opening scene with Drew Barrymore. That's the reason I can't go outside in the dark. I remember lots of run around. I remember lots of scream at the door. Then you got Billy, who was just weird and got off on horror films. I remember Courtney Cox. She was the reporter trying to get more info out of them that ended up with them at the end for the big final showdown.
Yeah.
There was a van involved. Obviously, people died. And then at the end, Shaggy and Billy were like, it was us. And then they were stupid and stabbed themselves, stabbed each other, or shot each other, hurt each other. And then they eventually died.
Yeah, cool. Andy, you've not mentioned your favourite character yet, mate.
Yeah, I was going to say that. There's got to be one name you remember.
The best police officer in the world.
Yes.
Dewey.
I like that you're heavily pronouncing the D this time. Be very careful. Mark, I imagine your memory's not too bad. Although you didn't actually watch it, did you?
No. Yeah, I didn't have time to watch it before recording last time. So yeah, still.
Or in the last 12 months?
No, just no time. No, I remember Dewey. Yeah, I remember big clue being shoes. They spotted the killer's shoes.
Amy called out the boots, didn't she?
Yeah, she spotted that. I didn't find a few plot holes, like getting dressed as Scream and getting your DNA evidence all mixed up with the killers just before you get caught by the police stabbing one of the killers. Yeah, good idea.
I mean, for the benefit of this watch, let's not worry too much about those plot holes. Lovely. So got a pretty good memory of it. That's awesome moving forward. And I just want to... I'm going to revisit some of the predictions because at the end of our last episode, you actually made some predictions about the sequel. I'm going to revisit them and then see if you've got any more or any idea of any further that might happen in the second one. So the first prediction we had was from Andy. He said that Cotton was going to be introduced, but not as the killer because you felt that was going to be too obvious. But you think Cotton might come back and he might get framed. That was the big prediction.
Seems fair of me. I'm a smart man.
The only other prediction was that there was going to be a copycat Ghostface, is what you guys kind of agreed on as a prediction. So have you got any more on where you think this sequel's going, or have you do you feel you've maybe absorbed any information from anywhere about what might be happening?
I think I know that Sydney's in it and Courtney Cox are in it. I don't know who else. I'd forgotten originally that Shaggy dies. I thought he was going to be in it, but that's not going to happen.
Is it still going to be set in a high school, or is it going to be like, ooh, they've now graduated and gone to college, I wonder?
Interesting.
Because I can't remember what...
They were in Woodsboro High School.
But what year of high school?
I'm not sure. We didn't see many exams being taken or classes.
That's true.
Because having a bigger budget, are they going to amp up the number of locations? And
More than 3.
and I quite liked that it was localized and it wasn't like a big budget, let's go to a million places. I'm just worried that that's going to change. It's going to ruin it a little bit.
Have you got any guess as to, what's the killer going to be up to? Who's the killer going to be? Are you going to know them? Is it going to be a new character? Is it going to, where are we going with this?
I think it's going to be someone who's trying to scare Sydney for whatever reason. Maybe they saw it on the news. So yeah, I feel like it's someone that we've not met before who's seen it play out on TV and go, oh, that sounds like fun. I'll give that a go.
Okay, nice.
Is it going to be someone stupid like Billy's mum, who we never met in the first film, getting revenge for, oh, it's your fault my son's dead? Or some nonsense like that.
Nice. I should be writing these down. Anyway, amazing predictions. Mark,
Hello.
have you seen this sequel, mate? You said you have. Do you remember much? Or do you feel like you're kind of going to be relearning this when you go and watch? Are you going to watch it?
I will watch it this time. I do remember a couple of big plot things. Assuming I'm thinking the right film, not Scary Movie again. I do remember a few bits. I don't want to say them because I think it is a big plot hook, so I don't want to give it away. But I will watch it again this time.
Nice.
Is it like Scary Movie 2? Is there going to be a man with a little hand?
So, I'll give you a little bit of context. This movie, so Scream 1, 2, and 3 were 1996, 1997, and I believe the year after as well. Oh no, Scream 3 was 2000. So first two Screams, 96 and 97. Scary Movie was 2000. So Scary Movie 1 based itself on Scream 1 and 2.
Interesting.
Food for thought.
Yeah.
There may well still be things that you saw Ghostface do in Scary Movie that he might be yet to do. Who knows?
Interesting.
You said you had some questions. Now's probably a good time. I've got a few bits, but nothing question-wise.
So you said that he kind of roughly planned out 1, 2, and 3. Was that like a very deep planning, like Tolkien-esque, or was it more, I'm going to make this film and I'm going to put in these plot points that I can come back to if I get the green light to go ahead?
Yeah, I'd say it wasn't entirely Tolkien-esque.
Not quite.
There was a world built. When he pitched Scream 1, he had a couple of pages written of like what a second and third movie could look like and like what the direction it could take. So that when he pitched the first one, he was pitching involvement in a franchise. He didn't want to sell just a one-off movie because I don't know if you remember, this was Wes trying to redefine a genre. He didn't feel he'd be able to do that in one movie. He was like, no, I'm going to, every good slasher so far has been done to death. It's had 18 sequels. I want some sequels to my slasher as well. So he wanted to sell it with someone that was really going to buy in for a franchise. So he kind of built a picture, was like, yeah, here's what could happen in the first one. And it can go these kind of directions if we like that. And the production company picked him up and went, yeah, sounds great. He had about 4 or 5 pages written of it. During the first test screening, the production company gave him the green light to get working on Scream 2. And within about a week, he had 40 pages ready. So he obviously had a bit of a plan. I think you'll see that when you watch it. To me, it doesn't feel like a sequel that was thrown together because money was thrown at it. Like, feels like it's been thought through a little bit, which is nice. But we'll touch on that after you watched it. I would like to know, before we go into this one, do you think you're going to like it?
I think for me, it depends on if they ramped up the gore or not. If they kind of kept it at that level, or I don't know, even a little bit less, that'd be nice. Then I think I'll enjoy it because I did like the plot of the first one.
What about you, Andy?
I reckon I will enjoy it if it keeps to similar sort of ideas of the first one. So it's a bit of a whodunit. It's not just about murder for murder's sake. Like, there's a bit of a story, and you need to figure out who the murderer is because it better not be. It can't be the first two because they're gone. Oh my god, it's going to be one of those, isn't it? Somehow.
Yeah. They're not dead or something.
Yeah. But
Raggy,
yeah,
you're a ghost.
If he planned it out, I'm hoping it's got a similar sort of feel to the first one, and it's not just let's murder to increase the franchise. It doesn't do it Freddy Krueger.
So I'm going to go into a few warnings before we get into this one, and the first one, unfortunately, has to be directed towards Amy. It's Wes Craven. It's the man that brought us Freddy Krueger. And he's just been given double the budget. So he did want some special effects and he did want some gore. So be ready for it. Be ready for some graphic violence, and then maybe it won't hit hard enough to distract you from what's going on. But I'll reassure you that this isn't just a gore, no. Like, it's not about the gore, but there will be gore. And I think naturally, because it's high school / college kids in 1997, there are jokes about gender norms and sexuality and things like that in there that will potentially leave a bit of a bad taste. I love this movie, and it always just feels a little bit wrong when I hear some of the words in it. It's nothing too crazy, but it's just worth acknowledging that it's, nearly 30 years old. Oh, is it 30 years old? It's maybe older now. 97? No.
Not quite.
It's 28 years old. So yeah, it's just worth acknowledging that. There's a little bit of that, but nothing crazy. Apart from that, I think you'll have a good time. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Like I said, it's the best rated of them, and I think that's for good reason, and everything is just ramped up, and for that reason, I think you're going to love it. So, I'll send you off now to go and watch Scream 2, and hopefully when you come back, it will be your new favourite scary movie. Enjoy. See you later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to to get ourselves a
And welcome back. Hopefully we've all been off and had a lovely time watching Scream 2. Yes, everybody? Yes?
I definitely watched it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Love it. Initial thoughts. Go on. Just give me like a 2-word summary. Mark, you first. Go on.
Good cast.
Amazing. Yeah. Amy?
That's what I titled my notes, which was called Fuck Off 2.
No, too many words. Over to you. Take us through your experience, guys. Okay, take us through it, dude.
So we start off at the premiere of a film called Stab, which I'm guessing as soon as you see it that it's the story of Scream 1. And lo and behold, there is Ghostface, and it's, yeah, the opening bit that you see is just the opening of Scream. And this really does just remind me of Scary Movie as opposed to it being Scream 1, but it's quite an interesting little way to start the film. The two characters that we meet are talking about, in their own way, they bring up the rules straight away that we had in Scream 1, but from a perspective of a black couple. So they go through how it's always the black character that dies first, things like that. And they also mention how white people are stupid and they cause all the issues, which the film kind of agrees with later on. So they go in, they sit down, and the film begins. And it just winds me up straight away because in Stab, the character goes straight into the shower and you can just see as it pans around the house that the back door is wide open and she just left popcorn on the stove. Who goes for a shower leaving the back door open and something on the hob? Even if she didn't get murdered, she's going to burn down the house. Quite frankly, I'm not surprised that she gets murdered.
Any comment on Stab, Amy?
I was confused why they'd called the film Stab, because that's a terrible name for a bad guy, because we all know that the first bad guy was called Scream, but you're never going to call a bad guy Stab.
Mr. Stab.
Mr. Stabface.
Lost points there. I did say, I found the film of the film less scary than the film. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it was very corny, wasn't it?
Yeah, like watching them watch it wasn't as scary as like actually watching Scream. So if that was an option for the rest of them, I could do that.
You just want Mystery Science Theatre, don't you? You just want to be in a cinema with your friends watching it.
Yeah, and everyone has a good time.
Throughout this, I hope that the woman that we meet is alive for the whole film. But oh no, she just says she's going to leave and she's probably going to die. But she makes it back alive, much to my surprise, so that's good. But then the guy that she's with, he leaves, he goes to the bathroom. It's busy in the bathroom, so he goes to a stall and just leaves it open. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm always closing the stall behind me.
Even for a piss.
Like, what? You'll close the door for a wee?
I mean, I do most of the time, to be fair.
Why? You worried people will see your back? Or is that just like PTSD from being shoved from behind in school or something?
I mean, he's a dad now. Any moment of privacy is golden.
So while he's in the stall, he hears what he perceives to be sex noises from next door. So he puts his ear straight to the bathroom stall and a knife comes straight through. That was not how I expected the first death of the film to be. It was a lot less bloody than the first death in the first one. I mean, I'm just glad it was with a knife and not a giant dick.
Yeah, because I remember you made the prediction with the first Scream, didn't you? Where you thought the old ear intrusion was going to come in this, excuse the pun.
But do you know how thick those walls are to just shove a knife through it and kill someone? And as well as, how did he even get the right area to get him in the head? That baffles the mind.
A very clean stab through a wall as well, isn't it? Like, it just goes straight through. Like, what's that stall made of? Like,
yeah, like that was a paper stall. If there was any wall you were going to fuck through, that's a good one. Did you, hear what he was listening in for?
No, I couldn't quite get what he was saying. Something about mummy? I don't know. Why? What was it?
I had subtitles on. It was just to that effect. It was like, oh, please, mummy, oh, mummy, that kind of thing. But to me, it didn't sound erotic. It sounded like he was having some kind of mental episode and he was just like pleading for his life with his mother. Maybe some of the people are into that.
And obviously, later, we find out who the killers are. That is the killer talking. If you really listen carefully, you'd know who the killer is as soon as you meet them because you recognise their voice. So yeah, he takes a nice stab through the paper wall.
Go back to the cinema and someone's come back in the guy's jacket with the ghost face mask on, so we know it's the killer, she doesn't. And just straight up kills her in the middle of the theatre. Nobody knows.
And all I'm thinking at this point is, why kill this couple? There's no context. It's the first 10 minutes of the film, so there's no reason for us to know this, but just got me thinking, is it random? Is it for a reason? No idea.
Yeah.
But I did think it was a great place to kill them, though, because everyone's wearing the same mask, everyone's got a knife. Granted, theirs aren't real, but still, well thought out murder.
I get frustrated about the idea that anyone could come and sit next to you because you're expecting a certain person. She's just like, this must be my boyfriend. That's his jacket.
It's dark. He's got the right jacket on. I don't know.
Surely there's a smell. It's Omar fucking Epps. Him and Timothy Olyphant have got different builds, haven't they?
You'd get an inkling, especially when he's not talking at all. But I mean,
Was he wearing gloves? He must have been, because they literally had different skin colours.
Was it a couple of years ago someone did a similar kind of thing where someone like put a Batman mask on and killed people?
Yeah, that was the opening for The Dark Knight, I think, wasn't it?
So I'm not sure if that was in my head, but obviously that's a long time after this. But as soon as I see a group of people all dressed the same, especially for a film like that, I just think, no, something bad's going to happen. Just no. Why would this? And I had several points where I wrote that the people in the back of the cinema couldn't see a single thing.
There wasn't a lot of respect for the viewing experience, was there, in that cinema?
There was not respect, no.
But equally, though, I love to go to an opening night like that. I don't know about you, like where a cinema has gone all out and built fake hands and knives. That'd be sick.
But I did have to say, and I don't know if this is because I have matured as someone watching these kind of films, but I didn't find it as bad as the first one. Like, I could actively watch it easier than I could with Scream 1. It seems to be kind of for me, quite a nice theme throughout it, that it's not as much of a shock when things do happen, because I've had that initial shock last time, and now it's like, okay, yes, I know roughly what kind of thing what's gonna look like.
You're kind of primed for the type of kill there's going to be and stuff.
Yeah.
Because obviously the difference here is it's in public, whereas all the kills in Scream were generally in a residence or when someone was on their own in the dark. So the fact he's just murdering in front of people's faces, I think it's maybe just trying to bend the rules a little bit and set the scene of like, yes, this is a sequel, but we're not going to stick to these rules we've just told you about. Kills can happen anytime, hopefully to people that you're not expecting.
there was a little bit of a shift in tone. I thought like this is a lot less visceral and creepy than Scream. Like it leads a bit more towards dark comedy for some of it, and it goes a little bit goofy at times, and I just felt the tone was a bit different. But we'll talk more about that as we go along anyway, I'm sure.
Yeah, so solid cold open on this one. Big contrast from Scream 1, where we were alone in the house and it was very gory and very intense and very sort of scary. This was more kind of, I don't know, a bit fun and a bit maybe setting us up for something a little bit bigger, a little bit higher exposure and a bit louder. I think that's a good sort of setup for the vibe of the film, don't you think?
Yeah.
Okay, carry us on, buddy.
So then we go to the next scene and we meet up with Sydney again. And she is straight away getting a prank call from somebody pretending to be Ghostface. And she just takes it in a stride. This obviously isn't the first time that it's happened to her. And she's got a wonderful little device that tells her exactly which number's phoning her. Makes sense. But it also says the name of the person that's phoning her. Now, I don't get how that's possible unless it's the bill payer that it's bringing up. So does that mean the guy that's phoning is like a 40-year-old man that's paying for his son's phone line?
Well, apparently it used to exist.
That seems like bullshit technology to me. But yeah, she takes it in stride. So obviously this is not the first prank call she's got.
But next we learn Cotton has been released, which it seems fair since though he was innocent. I mean, if the case was purely based on Sydney seeing him, that's a very flimsy case and he should sue. He should sue for false imprisonment.
I mean, to get into the graphicness of it, he was fucking Sydney's mum.
That's not illegal.
She got killed soon after they had sex, and he was then, implicated with DNA evidence.
We've realised she's in college at this point, so she's no longer in Windsor.
Woodsboro.
I don't know why I put Windsor there. Her friend comes in and they want to find Randy. He's in his class, film class.
Randy is there as a film student, and Sydney is there as a drama student, isn't she?
So they go to his class, and the amount of famous actors just in that one room.
Solid fucking casting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And some of these actors,
Isn't this just as Buffy started?
1997.
I'm sure I looked it up and it was the same year that Buffy started. So it depends what time of year things came out.
What was Timothy Olyphant doing in the 90s?
I think this was a big start for Timothy Olyphant, to be fair.
Oh, okay.
But just some of the background characters, like, I was looking at them going, I'm sure I've seen them in real things later on in life.
Yeah, there's some big names there. The sorority sisters aren't in this bit, are they? Because they're both quite
No,
famous. Yeah, lots of familiar faces. It's like when you watch an old 80s movie, isn't it? Where you're like, all these guys are famous now, but not so famous that I know them off the top of my head.
And so they're all just talking about sequels, and instantly I'm getting bad vibes off Mickey, or as I've got him down as in my notes as Sequel Boy.
Which feels pretty apt now.
Is that a bias because Timothy Olyphant plays a lot of creeps nowadays?
Possibly.
See, I think I'd also called him Sequel Boy just because he was going on and on and on about sequels. Because I don't think I know much of his current work. He's a face that I recognise, but not where I knew him from.
I mean, I think his biggest latest one is the Santa Clarita Diet. That's what a lot of people now would know him from on Netflix.
Well, he's in Alien Earth. He did Justified. He did Deadwood.
He was Hitman. That's a big one.
He was the
I don't think
Hitman.
I've heard of any of those films.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of things recently as well, but generally niche audiences.
It's usually either serious role or comic relief in a serious film. Like, tends to be his vibe.
Someone here mentions the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, which was, I remember being a big thing in the mid 2000s, and I wasn't sure if this was a starting point for it, as we find it often is with films we watch, or if it's something that they're copying that they've also heard somewhere else.
The game emerged in 1994 after some students at college created it, so it had been around a couple of years. But I think, again, it's intertwining the real world with our world, isn't it, by bringing that in, which is something this movie just can't stop doing, is just reminding you, like, it's real. You've watched Scream just now in the theatre, so did we. You're watching a sequel, wondering if it's going to be any good, so are we.
I did like that they were bringing more films into it other than just horror films at this point. Like trying to say which sequels were better than the originals and stuff. And I think at this point, I'm with Randy saying sequels generally not quite as good because, you know, they use up all the A material in the first one.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't have a rebuttal for Godfather Part 2, though, does he?
No. And he's just not delirious. He's just a fool when it comes to Star Wars, saying that the original trilogy was all planned out. I was like, nah, Lucas just muddled his way through it. Come on.
Star what?
It's a film, Reese. You don't know it.
Is that the one with Spock?
Yeah, mate.
Okay.
Just had Mark's soul die a little bit. But yeah,
It's a
sure.
spin-off of E.T. You probably haven't seen it.
A spin-off of what?
Is this then when we meet Sydney's new boyfriend?
Yes.
Can't remember his name.
I've written his name down at any point in this.
It's just Sydney's boyfriend.
You know, Sydney's boyfriend.
Derek.
Derek. Yeah.
The most fucking plain, jock-looking guy in the world.
You know, sometimes you don't want the boyfriend to be out in front, so he's just a background-looking guy. It's fine. But yeah, Randy is proper in denial. He still is fawning over Sydney ridiculously. But you know what? You do you, boo.
Because then we meet Dewey again, don't we? I had comments about Dewey. I'd forgotten he was stabbed, which did not help. So I couldn't work out why he was limping for a long time.
Oh, right.
And then I asked if he was stabbed in the face, and if not, why did his face look like that all the time? And also his mustache was too small.
His mustache is terrible, isn't it? It's the worst mustache in cinema history, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's an
So
understatement.
he's scared of it.
He's scared of it. Yeah. It's not good. And do you know, a mustache like that takes a lot of grooming to deliberately make it like that as well. So that's a choice he's making every day.
It's the wrong choice.
Mm.
But did you notice he also had something going on with his hand? Like he was limping. It's like, okay, he's been stabbed. That's fine. But it's kind of like he's got a hand that you can't really mobilize. Is it his right hand too much?
Well, he was stabbed in the spine.
Yeah. But it just reminded me more of people that have had a stroke than...
Obviously, the spinal cord is the housing for the nerve center of the body. So I think the idea is he's taken a stab and that right side of his body's been affected because it's severed the nerve, or at least impacted it.
But I would have thought that the arm nerves would have been higher up the back, but I don't know where exactly he was stabbed, so
Yeah.
I'll just give it to him. I'm no doctor, or am I? We meet Gail again. She's back.
She's back.
Turns out she was the author of the book that the film was based off, which was based off the first film, which we know about.
Mhm.
So I've just got a note thinking, is someone trying to like get to Gail instead of Sydney? Like, is that what the plot is of this film? And Sydney's just like an unfortunate collateral damage? No.
Mm.
That idea went out the window very quickly.
How did you feel about the? I know it's only been a year, and for people watching this, it had only been like, just about a year since they'd seen it. But how did you feel about getting that kind of gathering of the old guard and those surviving characters all coming back together for a scene?
I didn't mind it. With Randy and Sydney being the same college, fine. They both wanted to get away from their old place. Yeah, fine. Gail being there, that makes sense because she's a reporter. She would, and she's close to the topic. It would make sense for her to be there. Dewey, the best police officer. I mean, he's not even a police officer anymore, is he? I assume he's been retired.
I think he still is. He's definitely out of his jurisdiction when he comes over here. I think he's still a police officer.
Someone says retired police officer later in the film, but yeah, I don't know how they know that.
I'm pretty sure he's still in at the moment.
But yeah, it's very suspicious. He just turns up just as all these murders are happening.
Yeah, I like it as a scene because when I first watched this, and sometimes when I do my rewatches, I forget who's still alive from the first movie. So it's good to just get them all in one room and take stock.
Is this where we meet the local reporter as well?
Yes.
Sheldon's mum.
That's who she fucking is. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I couldn't work out where I placed her.
We also meet these lovely sorority girls who I dislike straight away.
Oh, I like them straight away.
They're
It's a surprise.
just unnecessarily mean to Sydney. He's like, oh, sorry that you've been through trauma. Fuck you. In the theatre, and then don't they leave? And then that's when she sees Gail outside, and Gail kind of ambushes her, trying to get an interview with Cotton and her together as an exclusive. Cotton is unaware that Sydney doesn't know, or so he claims. And he just looks so desperate. It's just he just wants something, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's there all in his suit, just hanging around outside the college, just desperate to get something on camera.
Yeah, I'm just really confused why he doesn't seem to want the money. He just wants to have coverage. But it's not to like clear his name. It's just he wants to be on TV. I don't quite get his motivation at this point.
Yeah, first I thought it was like him, like, it's ruined his life and he needs to make some money from it somehow. But then, yeah, he does become just a bit fame hungry. There's hints his money hunger at the end, but yeah,
That's how I read it, because it was like, they're from a small town. It doesn't matter how much clearing your name you do. No, you're not going to get a job. You're always going to be the person who was like, did that crime, even if he didn't. So I think he's just like, I got to make money somehow, and fame is the only way, because obviously there is a theme throughout this movie of the criminals rising to fame through heinous acts. So I think he's one of them that's trying to exploit that.
But then Sydney storms off, and Dewey and Gail have an argument about her book and how he was labelled as, what's the words they use? He was basically quite dim, wasn't he?
Incompetent, I think, was one of them.
Yeah.
Basically everything you said about him in the first Scream watch.
I mean, not wrong.
Like, you could have written Gail's book.
But my notes here just say they just want to fuck, don't they?
Mm.
That's all the tension I'm getting. They just want to fuck.
Yeah. It's the mustache. It's really doing it for her.
He tries to be he said he's a professional, and then goes off screen and comes back and says the one more thing from, which detective is it that says that?
Columbo.
Yeah. So it's like, mate, you can't try and be professional and then copy a TV detective. That's not how it works.
I don't know. This is the first time that I feel like I felt that Dewey and Courtney Cox had any sort of vibe, because I don't think I remember it at all last film. Not that I can remember. So that it did throw me off to begin with, because I just wasn't expecting that kind of romantic connection with them at all.
They have a lot of chemistry, don't they?
At this point, I don't know if they're married officially, but at this point, but they're definitely going out by this point.
Yeah, they got together by the time the filming of the first one had finished. That probably explains why that on-screen chemistry is a little bit more so now, because they are with each other now throughout the movie. Still, it's not a believable couple in my eyes. Like, you look at the incompetent police officer and the semi-successful, like, gorgeous, by 90s standards, Anka. It's like, it's not a fit, is it? She's so ambitious and power-hungry, yet wants this absolute fucking moron who's going nowhere. It doesn't make sense.
Maybe she just likes to look after her man, baby him.
Yeah, I wonder what it feels like to have your spouse, like, well, not your spouse, but like your partner just play some idiot next to you.
It's pretty easy.
I really hope that was his real mustache, so he had to keep it between filming and she had to go home to it.
It was her landing strip, just transferred over.
So we move on to the sorority party. They're just having fun. What is important is that one of the sorority sisters is still at their sorority as the designated driver who can pick up any drunk girls.
I used to do that job.
Yeah, but she made sure they got home safe.
As soon as I saw that house, I just thought that it had too many doors and windows. And then I also, because obviously this is the bit where they call her, works out that she's alone, but must already have known that she was alone to have known to call at this point, I feel. I feel like whoever it was that called knew that there was a party going on somewhere else. And so in this giant house with all the windows and doors, she wouldn't be with anyone else there to try and protect her.
Probably. I guess there's always a chance she's already brought someone home, or someone just didn't fancy it and they're hanging out in their room, I guess.
And this is the only time I think where I question if Scream could be a girl this time.
What makes you question that?
It was knowing, which doesn't make sense now, but for me it was things like knowing the layout of the house as well as they did. If that is a sorority, then you'd think the people who knew it better would be other girls that were living there.
My sweet summer child. The only person that would know the layout of that all-girls residence would be girls, because no boys would go in. You're right, Amy.
Exactly.
Right. Keep that purity.
Yeah, the girls would know, and then that a girl would know that there's a party going on that she wasn't, and that she was the designated person. Because girls have parties just for girls. I don't want any girl-boy parties at college. Not in America. Not this age.
Disgusting. It's unchristian.
So Ghostface does a bunch of questions. Not asking about horror movies this time, but it's a different person, so he wouldn't necessarily know that intimate detail. Because even
What's he
Gail
asking
wouldn't
about
know,
in this one?
It was a bit teasing at the start. It was like, who do you wish it was calling and things like that, wasn't it? It was like, yeah, it didn't really talk about films much.
Oh, he does get quite flirty, doesn't he?
But as the scene progresses and doors open, people come and go, you actually see him run in and hide in a room, which I quite liked this time. Because it's a bit goofy. It's a bit, you kind of know where it is. And she actually leaves the house. And I've got CC runs for it. Smart girl. Don't go back in. She phones security and the phone dies.
It's
hangs
too
up.
far from the unit.
Yeah.
Too far from the landline unit, isn't it?
She makes the call and then he can't hear her. So I was just thinking, what kind of ridiculous security doesn't check up on phone calls that just go dead? That suggests they are definitely in trouble if someone's...
If they were in danger, they'd say, obviously.
Men can't be mind readers, Andy.
I mean, surely security has the phone number of all the sororities, and what's the male version of a sorority?
Frat.
Fraternity.
Fraternity.
Surely they have all the phone numbers. They know exactly which one's which. So if anyone tries to prank call them, they can sort it out. Surely they know that.
Yeah, I think they also just notoriously don't give a fuck about their jobs. Looking after a bunch of like post-teens and young adults going out drinking, they're probably saying, they'll be fine. Because this is the 90s, nothing bad happens.
Especially because I don't think by this point people obviously were murdered in the cinema, but no one's been murdered on campus yet. So it feels like an isolated incident.
Yeah, because outside of being murdered by a serial killer, nothing bad happened to women in the 90s after dark. Everyone knows that.
No, or from then on.
Single young women, notoriously safe after dark.
Yeah.
So speaking of single young woman, she goes back in the house and there's a kerfuffle. So she runs upstairs.
To say the least, there is a kerfuffle.
What a kerfuffle.
Yeah, this is the part that I get conflated in my head with Scary Movie. They're throwing the shit
It's
down
so
the stairs. Yeah.
The bike is where I'm like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I thought the bike was in
Yeah.
Scary Movie. That's too dumb to be in this. Like, oh, go on, throw the grandma next then.
I did laugh a little bit when I saw the bike. I was like, fuck's sake.
For me, it's mainly because who the fuck is leaving their bike halfway up the stairs?
Yeah.
Like,
Sorority.
what are they doing? Just riding it down when they need it? Such a big fucking house.
Like, do none of these doors lock? Like, the bathroom door will surely lock.
Well, no, 'cause it's all women. It's all women.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, yeah.
They go together.
they're all safe. Yeah.
Yeah.
They all go
Sorry,
together and
this
like
is just-
talk about boys and have pillow fights, and it's all just fine.
That's what we do in the bathroom.
So they go up, 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 and then stabbed and thrown off the balcony. Again, a lot less violent than first one.
Yeah.
So
Put up more of a fight though, didn't she?
Mm.
Good old Buffy.
she did. I wonder if she demanded that or if that's just part of the thing. Don't know.
Hmm.
Oh,
It's almost like it's a trailer for Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah.
Like you can watch this and be like, oh, she's hot. Oh, she's kind of cool when she's like beating up killers and stuff. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You can see her and her big tits over here.
Just pops up. You may also like.
But yeah, like it's solid. It's a big one because like she's a big name, isn't she? So to just come and go quickly like that, even though I watch these religiously so often, you still get a bit conflated as to who comes in and who dies and who goes when. And then I see her come in and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember Sarah Michelle Gellar's in it. And then I forget she's in it for like 6 minutes.
Okay, then we go back to the party, and someone mentions harmonica style sex, and I have no idea what that is.
I think they were talking about blowjobs, weren't they? So it's like, but we don't give blowjobs, or it's not all about blowjobs, but we can still do it harmonica style. So I assume that means just the side?
I would say what I think it is, but my parents listen to this.
What are you talking about? I missed that line in the movie. So please tell me what they say.
So they say, like, sorority life's not all about blowjobs, but then one of the girls looks concerned and says, but we can still do it harmonica style. The other girl goes, yeah, of course. Which I interpreted as it doesn't go in the mouth. They just, I don't know. It was a weird joke.
I know, I think it's doing it quiet.
But harmonicas aren't
As
quiet.
in, like if, like you, like. What did you just say?
Harmonicas are not quiet.
No, I mean, like, I think it's meant to be like you could have sex with a harmonica in your mouth and it wouldn't make a noise. As in, like, you're keeping it so quiet that you're not even like breathing super loud.
The way I interpreted it is the same as what Urban Dictionary says. When the dick is too big to blow, so you have to play it side to side.
I don't want to hear these words. This is not the podcast I signed up for.
I thought it was
That's
like,
interesting.
the girls were just saying, you know, they didn't want to ruin their purity by putting it in their mouth, so they just put their mouth on it, I guess. But yeah, it was just a really strange joke to have, and like there was no real context for it. And then I opened up this, I found this black and orange website that had some answers, but
Could you push a couple of links my way, bud, for research? That's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a volume thing, like keeping secret. I've heard that.
I mean, according to Mark, it is a volume thing, just not that volume.
cubic volume.
nice.
Math joke.
In my notes here, it says Randy and Mickey are still going on about sequels, and this is where he brings up Star Wars. So I apologize for bringing it too early before. Mickey is going on way too much now about sequels. So I'm just starting to think, yeah, it's definitely you, isn't it, mate? Definitely you. People flock to go see The Dead Cece, as people do.
Yeah.
Mm.
I just want to point out this is the second time now in 2 films I've had to write more kids running gleefully to a murder.
And again, you just probably would. Come on now.
I don't know if I would run gleefully to a murder, if I'd be like, no, I'm going to go the other way.
Someone on the other side of college has just fucking been stabbed. What are you doing? You're going over there, aren't you? Yeah, you absolutely are. You'd go over if someone said they'd found a used Johnny. So someone being stabbed, he's sprinting.
Guys are really different to girls.
I don't believe that at all.
I don't think at that point I would have. Maybe when I was younger and more invincible, 14, 15. But by that point, I had the fear of the world put in me. And I was like, nope.
Maybe it's a safety thing though, like lightning never strikes twice. So if someone's just been murdered over there, it's the safest place to be.
Depends how they were murdered.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Two
Go
people
to
just got
H.H.
killed at the
Holmes'
cinema at the
hotel.
same
Well, someone
time.
was killed last week, so it's not going to happen again.
So most people leave the party and the phone starts ringing. And despite this not being where Sydney lives, she answers the phone. Why?
Why not?
You've got to be a fucking very special kind of extrovert to pick up someone else's phone.
Yeah,
haven't
I don't
you?
pick up my own phone. Like,
So Ghostface now appears in this house as opposed to the other one, so they can't be that far away. But the fact that Cece was there to drive people suggests maybe they are. So how does Ghostface get there so fast? I was starting to think, oh, they're going to be two killers again because of that very quick transition. And Ghostface again seems to know the house, seems to terrorize Sydney as opposed to trying to kill her, which seems to be a theme in this, which later on makes sense to a degree, but I'll get into that later. But Derek goes to be the big hero, goes in, gets a cut arm. It is hard to believe that he just got an arm. His arm was cut after the last film, and
Yeah.
Sydney's starting to think that too. And you know what? I can't blame her.
I think this is where it starts with like the movie knows very well where your head is at, and it knows you're on alert for who it might be, and it's just going to be like, well, I'm going to give you a reason to suspect everyone, you little fucking idiot. It's going to start just throwing red herrings at us, isn't it?
So then after that, we go to a hospital. So already in the first, hour of the film, we've had more locations than the first film.
Mm.
Yeah, in the hospital, you've got Mickey trying to suggest it might actually be Derek, or I've put D-Man here, so I must have known his name at some point, so the boyfriend. At this point, he's trying to really push a narrative of who it could or couldn't be. So yeah, me and Amy actually took a break then, because we watched it over 2 days.
Oh no, did you guys get back together or?
I had to watch it in the middle of the day.
that's like 20 minutes into the film, isn't it? He took a break.
That's like a good hour.
Is it? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first half of the film really drags.
It's not even Act 2, really.
So we boot it up again. We go back to school, and Dewey and Gail start talking to the police, talking about the victims, and they realise that it's a copycat based on the names. And I thought that was wonderful. I thought that was a really nice plot hook, and it might give them an idea of, who might be next. Until that goes out the window, it's never mentioned ever again.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Revisit this. What about the names?
So the first two victims, they both had the first and the last name of the first victims in the first film.
Yes.
And then Cece, whose real name is Casey?
Casey makes sense.
Yeah. She was
Casey was in the first one.
We're in the first one.
so she was the third victim in the first film.
Mm.
And I just wish that had continued, and like maybe they'd used it as a try and who's next, maybe try and thwart the murder a little bit, but no. Never mentioned again.
No.
Never even considered again.
Yeah.
And this is where, like, because you mentioned you don't know why they bothered killing Jada Pinkett at the beginning. That would have been a good explanation for it, but it's not really founded on anything, is it?
It feels like such a stretch even when they're doing it. It's like, this could be a loose connection. No, it's not. It's just gone. Like, it may as well have been a coincidence.
Amy, I hope you've got better notes than I do at this point.
I've got the bit now where she's being tailed, isn't she, by two? Is it FBI?
The detectives, yeah.
Detective, yeah. And her boyfriend's like, we should just go and be alone somewhere. And I've shouted on my notes, I was like, someone's trying to kill her. Get as many people around you at all times as you can.
Derek's a little fucking squid, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what I've got in my notes.
And then,
the cops are stopping us fucking? I was like,
How dare they? They care about your life more than my blue balls. How dare they?
yeah, Derek is just upset that Cece's starting to not trust him. And he's like, what a dick. You probably know exactly what she's been through with the ex-boyfriend. The fact that she's got a boyfriend a year later is a fucking miracle that
That's
she
pretty
trusts
insane,
someone.
isn't it? Like, that's...
yeah.
So, like, that probably shows the immaturity of nearly being murdered by your boyfriend, and within a year you've got a new boyfriend who is looks very similar, is a bit of a creep. It's a bit weird, isn't it?
After that, we go to the next scene, which is like lunchtime or something in like cafeteria, maybe.
Best scene in the movie.
Yes.
Best scene in the entire decade.
It starts off with Mickey again trying to push theories of who it could be. So I'm just like, yeah, it's you, mate. You're just going too hard into it, and the boyfriend starts singing.
Oh, he does. Oh, he does.
I've written here, I wish he had been killed after that performance.
Mickey points out this is a reference to Amy's favourite film.
Yeah.
Which film?
This song was in my head for a couple of days because of this. They do a similar thing in Top Gun, but not with the same song, with a much better song.
It's by far the worst thing to happen in cinema.
I thought this was your favourite Scream film.
Yeah.
It is, but that moment is levels of cringe that have not been met in 10 years of Vine. It's hideous. You could have a leak in your kitchen and play that scene and it'll dry it up. And it's obviously trying to be a bit meta. It's having a dig teen rom-coms and stuff,
and theatre kids.
But it's also, they still did it. Like, they still chose to do it and felt there was some artistic merit to it. And that motherfucker sang that motherfucking song. And he probably he was happy doing that on camera forever. Which is wild. Because he can't hold a note. He's just objectively a bad singer as well. And
No.
yeah, I don't get it.
And he gives her his fraternity letters at this point, doesn't he? But they say that he will get beat up for that. And he does later, so you know what?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Just explaining the film later.
I think it's right that we then go to the theatre.
No, you are not right.
Cut that bit out. I don't like it when he says.
Strike that from the record.
Yeah, got that, gone.
Yeah, there's an interview about the film Stab, and they show a clip of it, and I love it at this point. They show, again, another
Heather Graham.
actor playing old boyfriend. What was his name?
Luke
Wilson. So good.
They mention so many of the cast of Friends in this as well.
Yeah,
don't
that
they?
fucks me up because
they
they say
talk
that
to-
David Schwimmer is playing. Does he say he's playing Dewey? They say David Schwimmer is playing Dewey, which fucks me up because then, like, in this universe, either Friends exists without Courtney Cox in it, or David Schwimmer got famous not for Friends.
They mentioned Jennifer Aniston later as well when Gail Weathers leaked pictures and it was my face on Jennifer Aniston's body.
I just wish I could see Stab and just see this weird alternative version of Scream.
Did you see who gets the director credit for Stab as well? It says the director is Robert Rodriguez. He directed Kill Bill 2, did lots of work with
Tarantino.
That gives him a directing credit, and then there was a rumor going around amongst film nerds that he did actually direct the stab scenes within the movie. He didn't. He just didn't. But yeah, it definitely slings cameos, which is just fun. Scream is redefining slashers and horror. This started being produced as everyone was realizing how well Scream 1 did. So it was probably quite easy to get people on board because a lot of those guys mentioned have been in some very low budget, not so successful horrors. So they probably have got a little bit of a soft spot for bringing horror back, to be honest. So probably wasn't that hard to get them involved.
Next, Randy brings back the rules of the sequel. He mentions 2 of them, but then he says you should never ever, and then just gets cut off and doesn't explain what the 3rd rule was. I was like, for God's sake, what's the rule? Because if you don't tell me, it's going to piss me off. And we never find out what his 3rd rule that you should never ever do is. And by any chance, is it don't turn your back on a van? Because you should have listened to yourself.
So in Scream 2, it was the 3 rules of a sequel. The body count is always bigger. Death scenes are always more elaborate and bloody. And rule 3 was interrupted. Never, ever, under any circumstance, assume the killer is dead. Was his actual rule, but it's not said in the film.
Mickey again is spitting theories of who it could be. It's like, great. And Dewey is squinting way too much, like he's in a Western.
And they're in a saloon.
Yeah, it's just...
That is what him and Nev Campbell do for most of the movie, to be fair, is just look surly down.
Full faces, yeah.
But Dewey and Randy are talking about potential, like, culprits, aren't they? As well as going through the killers in other films, and they do mention Mrs. Voorhees as a good killer, not Jason, but she was the original killer, not the sequel which they mention in the first film, so it's ridiculous that they get that wrong here.
Yeah.
But just the simple fact that they mention Mrs. Voorhees made me think, oh wait, no, it's going to be, I'm probably wrong about Mickey. It's going to be Billy's mum. Just otherwise, why would you bring up Mrs. Voorhees in the wrong context at this point?
Mickey does also mention Dharma at one point as well, doesn't he? Saying like, I can't remember what the context was, but he also starts dropping the names of serial killers.
I've just remembered where I remembered Laurie Metcalf from. It wasn't from Young Sheldon. She's in Monster, that Ed Gein one, isn't she? She plays his mum. So she's played 2 serial killer mums.
We then go to the new camera.
Theatre?
No, not yet. Gail is arguing with a new cameraman, and he doesn't want the job. He is worried for his life, and he is the only smart person in this goddamn film because he just storms off. Granted, he comes back later, but he should have just stayed away. Smart man. Next, we go to the
Theatre!
Hey!
I'm amazed she was okay being around this many people in masks.
With knives.
Yeah. And I also felt like when it all got a little bit weird, the service guys they just sat there and kind of let it happen, let her just scream, run around. They weren't even, I don't think they were even near the front of the theatre. They were like midway up. So if something had happened to her, they could not have got there in time. Through watching it, we were trying to both of us work out if it was going on in her head or if we'd seen someone there. And I kind of felt like we did see someone there by the end of it, and then they snuck out.
Yeah.
By the time kind of lights came on, everyone
That's
had
a
masks
really big bone of contention in the fandom, is whether that happened or not. There is no definitive answer. My take is that it was a hallucination, because you've got the Secret Service guys watching, you've got the director watching, you've got everyone on stage. You'd surely notice someone in the wrong mask. It doesn't make sense to me, and just really exposing yourself that boldly seems crazy. And it is like such a high stress, high tension moment, lots of noise, lots of moving. It would lend itself to a hallucination, wouldn't it?
And just the actors on stage, they would know that there's an extra person there because they're not doing.
Yeah, they'd have their marks
they're not on their mark.
Unless it was another theatre kid that just happened to change masks during the killer is a theatre kid. There's potential there, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, just someone else trying to traumatize Sydney for no reason because everyone just hates Sydney.
So in my head, it's got to be not real. Who would it be? Would it have been her? How the fuck would she know what to be doing in this show and why it's happening there? And same with Mickey. Like, does it make sense to be doing that? I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But you do see them run away at the end, and it's like it just didn't make sense. And it was just a way of, they were never going to kill her there because they had the opportunity to, and they just didn't. So it was just to traumatize her.
Which again, it doesn't seem like Ghostface's motive really ever. Like, we know he spooked her in the house a lot, but given a chance, he probably would have killed her, but she just was a bit quick. At least in the first 2, the ones we've seen, Ghostface is human. And I think this is just trying to shift into, like, make us think maybe there's a paranormal element to it. Oh, it can just disappear, or it can just manifest, or can get into your head and stuff. Maybe it's just trying to shift us into that focus a bit.
But the director said there's no understudy for this, which is just ridiculous. Always have an understudy, especially for the main
university.
character.
These are top level people that want to be. Somebody's going to want to do the lead role, aren't they? They're not going to be short of actors. It's an acting school.
But yeah, why were the police sitting in the audience and not backstage? Don't know. And it's very convenient. Mickey is editing at this point. So,
What's he editing?
True. See, I just thought it was an excuse for him to be Ghostface, but that could actually be he's editing stuff which happens later on in the film. Interesting.
That's what planted it for me on my first watch through, is that he says he's making this documentary the whole way through. And then obviously, like, Ghostface is fucking around filming everything, isn't he?
Yeah.
So
But then Derek appears. Sorry, you go.
No, go on. No, sorry, I was about to say that we left here now, but you've got more notes.
Yeah, Derek appears, and again, she's suspicious. Like, how'd you get here so fast? Why are you here? Should be Mickey. Mickey's editing, and she just doesn't trust him, which, fair play. Don't trust him either.
So yeah, they just start running around. I then see that van and think, well, that seems too obvious. I didn't. Obviously, I think you're almost meant to think maybe the camera guy's in on it in a sense, because the camera van, is there front and centre. But it felt a bit too obvious. And then just that van being there. As soon as you see the van, and as soon as he turns away and has his back to the van, it was never going to go well for him. But I've got to say, I did think that Randy was going to make it. I think in my head, everyone who made it out of the first film was going to make it out the second film.
This is the most devastating death for me in the whole Scream franchise, because Randy is my favourite, and him just dying in the blink of an eye. He doesn't even get to fight it. He doesn't get a fight. He doesn't even get screen time while he's getting killed. He just gets pulled into a van. Yeah, I feel like he would have added to the franchise moving forward, because I've always said, like, he feels like the viewer. He's the one that tells us what the fuck's going on, what to compare that to, and he makes it meta, because obviously after this, Mickey fucks off as well, doesn't he? Because he's the killer. So without Mickey and without Randy, we lose that fourth wall perspective, that fourth wall breaker, and I miss that. So yeah, I feel really bad for Randy at this point, and I try to forget every time I watch, and then I go, oh no, he's by the van again, and I just try and skip that bit.
Yeah, I was devastated when Randy died, and I was surprised. Like Amy, I thought the original crew would survive and they would be like part of the franchise going forward. But the fact that they killed him just meant no one was safe, apart from maybe Sydney. But maybe Sydney dies in a later film. I have no idea.
It does a good job of that, doesn't it? It just goes, all bets are off now. Nothing's safe. You've tried to be comfortable being like, the first one was, if you're alone and you're in a big empty house, you're probably going to get murdered. The second one, it started you off like, well, you could be with your friends, you could be in a public space. And then it's also going, you could be a character people care about as well. And as a viewer, you're just like, fuck, anyone can get killed anytime now.
So we move on to the library, and apparently all these computers are in a big LAN and they can just send messages to each other. Why do they all have instant messaging between each other?
It's a library.
It was the
What
90s.
benefit does that have
It's
for
a
the
library,
library?
not us talk.
So you can help with like research and talking to people.
Be like, oh, where's that book about fact? And then someone goes, yeah, it's over there by the book about history. I've never been to a library, okay?
Oh, I didn't
Right,
think so.
you've seen me. I've never read a book. You've got me, okay?
I've never been to a library in the 90s.
But then the police just leave her. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
you're in
go
danger.
wait here by yourself.
Is she in danger, though? She's had a message that says you're going to die. She's not in danger. There's just someone sent her a message.
Yeah, she's already had calls like that before she knew there was murders going on, and she was prank calls. So
It could literally just be the guy next to her going, ha, you're going to die. But Cotton, it was probably Cotton, to be fair, to get the police to go away to talk to her, because he uses this as an opportunity to talk to her and ask about exposure. And he's really desperate to talk to Diane Sawyer. Really desperate. I'm not 100% sure who Diane Sawyer is, but, the fact that he
I
wants
just
me
assume
off it.
that's a big talk show name that I should know watching
Yeah,
this.
From the
but
90s.
I don't know if it's real or fake.
She's real.
There we go.
Diane Sawyer is mentioned. What is she mentioned in? There's another show, maybe like Gilmore Girls, something like that, where that's it. I think she's like a serious journalist who, is kind of held with high regard
Okay.
back in the kind of 90s, 2000s.
Or she doesn't exist, and you've just confirmed Scream is set in the Gilmore Girls universe. But yeah, the Cotton character is just so pathetic at this point. He has lost a year of his life for no reason, but
he's very desperate, yeah.
I also sometimes watch this through the perspective of what if her mum never died? That's her stepdad. And that's a very pathetic stepdad-stepdaughter relationship.
Her ex-stepdad.
No, I mean, like, if the mum hadn't died, because he said he loved her mum, so, like, they could still be together, and he's this pathetic man who's pestering her in the library. You would have been in a position of responsibility for this young lady who's been traumatized, and you're just creeping her out all the time out of choice. It's really weird.
Yeah, hiding behind corners and grabbing her.
Nobody respects victims in this movie, do they?
no.
You'd think some people closest to them would have not been as bad as to creep them out this much and pester them and put them in the centre of all these horrific incidents.
I think in Cotton's head, he had it worse, which is really weird because, yeah, it wasn't good for him. Not at all. But he didn't have to see and go through all of that personally.
He got falsely accused, went to prison for a year. Everyone she knows is dead, and she watched most of those murders.
And then everyone else in the world is just making fun of her for it.
She was forced to take another human life.
Yeah.
I don't know, forced is a strong word.
She enjoyed it.
She really did.
But by the end of this film, she was like, yeah.
So yeah, Cotton gets arrested and they go back to the police station, and the police are just as useless in this as they're on the first one. There's no evidence to suggest he has done anything wrong and that he shouldn't be talking to her because, again, he hasn't actually done anything. And Cotton leaves the police station after they can't charge him. He leaves first, and yet we go outside and Cotton leaves second. It's really weird. So unless he went to the toilet first.
Yeah, went for a week. This is the point where I've written down, so this is where they put a curfew on. So they say, we'll take you away somewhere, keep safe, and then no one will be allowed out. And I've gone, oh, well, if no one's allowed out, I'm sure that'll be fine.
Do you know what? I think they should have gone one step further, and they should have put a no murder rule in place. Problem solved.
Yeah, the local reporter is then interviewing Gail, isn't she? Trying to trying to get answers from her. That makes me think we've seen this woman a bit too much now. She's not driving the plot. Or is she? And then I instantly put a question, is she actually Billy Loomis's mum?
This early on, you were thinking it.
Yeah, because I was just seeing it too many times. I was like, no, because I remembered because of what they said before about Mrs. Voorhees. Like, yeah, because of that. And we've seen this woman too much because she's not actually doing anything. She's just there. She's always just there. She's not progressing the plot. She's not presenting anything. She's just there.
Thankfully, you shared none of this with me, so I was completely oblivious that anything could be her.
Same, Amy. When I watched this, I had no fucking idea. I was just like, oh, she's a bit annoying.
Yeah, I was like, oh, calm it down. Maybe guilty of being a little bit overeager, but
So everything they were accusing Gail of for her reason for being there, like, oh, you're just after the story, you're after the glory, I was seeing in her. She was like always just trying to be around the story, trying to get the first one. So I just thought I got the feeling she had something to gain from the killings, but it was like, is that another red herring that the film wants us to think it might be her? I had suspicions, but I had suspicions about most of the people on screen at that point. So.
Yeah, you're like too hesitant to commit to your suspicions.
Yeah.
And we get another scene between Dewey and Gail talking about who it could be. And I like their scenes together. I love their scenes together, and I don't know why. Despite his stupid face, I just like the chemistry between them.
They do just have good chemistry, don't they?
They do.
And I don't know if you've noticed, whenever there is an opportunity to split up, they go together.
Yeah, and they decide that they're going to check all the old footage because whoever is doing this must be in it, which I thought, okay, that's a reasonable assumption. It's not guaranteed, but it's an interesting assumption. And I've written down 2 predictions, Mickey or reporter. Gail and Dewey find the only VCR they could to look at the footage, and it's at the bottom of a lecture theatre with no escape.
Yeah, VCRs are really rare in the 90s.
Yeah, especially in colleges. There isn't one on a stand outside every classroom.
For the teachers hungover.
I saw this room and just thought this feels like a big place for a fight. I wasn't sure this was going to be. I thought it was going to be a bigger place for a fight than it was. I suppose. I'm thinking in my head. I was thinking more akin to the house in the last one. But looking back now, I don't think it was complicated enough. Like, it's just a big square room, so you couldn't do that much with it as you could do kind of with hiding and stuff for the house.
So when you were watching this, Amy, because I know you really liked the whodunit element of the last one, are you too worried about when you need to prepare for the next murder to think about the actual mystery?
Yeah.
Because in my head, when I rewatched this and they were like, oh, we got to review the footage, I was like, oh, I bet Amy's buzzing off that because you're going to get a chance to see all the characters, what they were doing at the scene and try and work out who it is. And you're just like, where is the knife going to be? Where's the nearest escape, guys? Make sure you've got a way out of that room.
They literally walked down a room with 2 entrances, down several stairs, and then faced away from both of the doors. Their backs were to the doors, both of them.
And start kissing.
I looked at that and I was just like, no. Just no.
They do nearly fuck just before this, don't they?
Yeah, and just fuck off the footage.
Yeah. They're just like, we've got time to screw though, haven't we, Gail? Yeah? Well, not really, do we? But all right.
A different TV comes on with different footage, which I didn't even link to Mickey, so Well done you for thinking that. And yeah, it's different footage, so he's recording it, and you see Ghostface in the projector room. Speedy Gonzales, Dewey, chases after him, despite the fact that he limps and can go about a mile an hour. So, and he's surprised when he's not there anymore. It's like, really?
I think this is the point where I start to question, is Dewey in the sequels? Because I know that Courtney Cox, I think that Courtney Cox is in the sequels. I don't remember if I've seen him in them at all.
Ghostface isn't in the projector room, surprise, surprise. But then he just pops up behind Gale. So I was like...
Yeah, I don't know how he got down there without being seen. But
yeah.
There's two of them, guys.
Yeah, no, I put that in my notes. How is he teleported behind them? There has to be two people.
the fact one vanishes and one appears is still quite unbelievable. But
Because the projector room wasn't closed off, I think. I think there was an easy, you could be in the projector room, put the movie on, and then fuck off. The other Ghostface could have been in the second room of the recording area already.
Yeah, they'd have to have been there before they entered the lecture theatre, so that's just a massive gamble. It's like, they'll go for this one, obviously. It's like,
They've broken all the other VCRs. Yeah, a lot of it is just like Ghostface just had to be in the right place at the right time by luck. When he's doing things like sticking on the movie, it kind of negates it. But I do wonder if sometimes it is just opportunistic. He just fucking shows up and he's like, I guess these guys are next then. Is he just wandering around wherever the police aren't going to get him and he's just going to kill whoever's next? And it just happens to be them?
I know it's unclear, really, but I just feel like there has to be some preparation for them to pop up behind Gale.
Maybe it is trying to get us to start thinking he's supernatural.
Maybe. So Gale runs from Ghostface into a room, and Ghostface starts to hunt. That scene reminds me of the Velociraptors from Jurassic Park. There's just something about the way that she's hiding and you just, see Ghostface go past. Yeah.
That panning shot from underneath the counter going round to him, it's like, that's the same shot.
I wonder if that was on purpose.
Maybe.
Because they are referencing a lot of films.
When was Jurassic
in
Park?
this.
93.
it was earlier than this. Yeah.
I just loved it. I just thought, fair play to you. It gave me a chuckle. But then Dewey enters the computer lab. Just right, he's about to die, isn't he? Randy can die, he can die. Gale locks herself in a room, but there's a glass panel. Dewey's on the other side, and he gets shanked in the back. And again, this reminded me of another film. Just the way that he's slowly dying and going down, despite there being Ghostface and blood everywhere. It reminds me of Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, where Spock dies, because he's also behind glass and slowly goes down. And it's a very similar sort of vibe, other than the murder.
You're such a nerd, Andy.
I'm guessing I'm the only one that's seen that film. It's a good film.
Is it?
All the even Star Trek films are good. All the odd ones are rubbish. I don't know why, it's just how it ended up. And they always banked on the wrong one to make the money.
There's like the soundproof glass, isn't there? So he plays around with the sound a lot now, where when the cut's from one side, you're just hearing Gale horrifically weeping while watching this man she loves being stabbed to death. And then you kind of cut to the other side and you can hear him, but you can't hear Gale crying out. You just hear like the gurgling blood and stuff. I like that sound production. I think it was done really well. And I think it added a level of viscerality that the movie's been missing up until now. It's all been very kind of like quick and shots of maybe people we didn't care too much about, or they've just been quick, killed and over. And this is like this lingering, fuck, we kind of like Dewey and he's kind of nice. You know, some of us like him. And he's just a nice, kind character, and we just have to sit and watch him die really slowly. It's quite tough.
It feels like it ramps up the seriousness at this point. It's gone, okay, you've had all your goofiness. Now we're just getting dark. I liked that tonal shift in it.
At some point, if the movie wants to call itself a horror, it has to be horrific. It can't just make jokes. It has to give you the horror of like seeing someone's last breath and feeling someone's pain, doesn't it?
And I've just written pull the mask off, and I'm trying to think at what point here one of them was close enough to do something, be able to pull it off.
I'm sure there was a point where Dewey was on top during that fight. I'm sure there was a point where he could have. That's quite a frustrating thing about all of it, I guess. But then if you're faced with nearly dying, your priority isn't to find out who's about to kill you, I guess.
No, with all the adrenaline running around, you're not going to be making your best decisions, are you?
Especially not if you're Dewey.
If you're what?
Dewey?
Oh, that's a good one. That was a really good one.
Oh, and it wasn't me.
What did I say, Andy? Could you repeat it for me?
I think what you meant to say was, unless you're Dewey.
Like the wet grass first thing in the morning.
Okay, so then we flip back to Sydney, and the cops are leaving to take her to a safe house. Her mate just comes along because why not? We need someone to die. And the boyfriend says his goodbyes, and then we think, oh, is he about to die? But no, he's getting kidnapped by his frat bros, and he's probably about to die anyway.
That curfew's going really well so far.
Everyone is tucked up in bed.
But yeah, we see him get bound to the... Why are these frat people taking him to the theatre? Frat bros, I don't feel are naturally associated with the theatre. Yeah, that's where they went.
So my view is that this is linked to his sing-song, and that this is kind of a, oh, you want to embarrass yourself in front of the theatre kids? Here you go. That kind of thing.
So I would have expected more football post, but I suppose him playing a sport is never mentioned in this film. He's really not much of a character when you think about it, is he? He's just the boyfriend.
Very two-dimensional.
You couldn't drown in him. He has zero depth.
He's the jock you get at theatre school, as he sings.
He's just the most beige character ever, and I think that's why Sydney has chosen him. If she's had to choose someone, it's just someone uncomplicated and entirely predictable.
But after that, we go back to Sydney and the cops. The police are so inappropriate here. They're asking, where are we going? And their response is, if we tell you, we'll have to kill you. It's like, come on, man, read the room. Ridiculous. Like, it's not even a good joke. But they die really quick to Ghostface, like super quick. Like, he just punches through a window, stabs one, they crash, the other one gets jabbed in the eye with a metal pole. One of the police, before he dies, has his gun aimed at Ghostface when he's driving at him, and why he doesn't just shoot, I have no idea. He just tries to threaten him, despite him knowing he's a serial killer. He's killed many people.
They're then stuck in the back of the car. Ghostface is unconscious at this point in the front of the car, and I've written, I hate this. Hate.
Such a horrible scene, isn't it? Like, you just sat there, like, your pulse is raised, your blood pressure's going crazy.
Yeah, I've just put, that's a terrible plan, but I guess you've got no choice.
Well, there was some choice, though, wasn't there?
Well, the door was jammed, and the other door was against the wall, so what choice did they have?
Beat the fuck out of him.
Oh yeah, could have just killed him, yeah.
Like, just strangle him to death.
Yeah, and the amount of failed plans they had before escaping is like, you could have just taken the mask off at some point in that time when you were leaned across him.
Even if you don't take the mask off, just pound his skull in.
You sat behind him choking with something, just...
If you think he's unconscious enough for you to, like, climb over him to get out, then you've at least got one cheap shot you can make as well. Like, just boot
You
him.
can get his knife. Just get his knife
Yeah.
and stab him with his own knife.
Yeah. And then it
Yeah.
shows you the perspective from the front of the car, and you can see the cop's gun as well. Obviously, they don't know that gun's there, but you're there like, there's a fucking gun within reach. Yeah, it's a tough scene, that, isn't it?
Yeah. So she gets out, tries to get Hallie out, but the back door is jammed, which I'm surprised they left the kiddie locks on, shall we say, when they're transporting two valuable people. But it's a police car, maybe you can't turn it off. It makes sense if you can't turn it off. She gets out, so Hallie has to do the same. Just take the mask off, but she doesn't. She runs, but then decides to go back to take the mask. And at that point, I've just put, you've just condemned Hallie to death, haven't you? And Ghostface isn't there and stabs Hallie. Stab.
So stupid, isn't it? Like, you just commit one way or the other. Either leave or take the mask off. So weird to have that moment of clarity after you've already left the situation, isn't it?
And Hallie is just saying to run. If you just listen to Hallie, you both should be alive. Or if you're taking the mask off first, she'll be alive.
No one stopped her running, though.
True.
She didn't have to wait for Sydney.
No, but I just put, I feel all the black characters are smarter than the white characters here, which, to be fair, I feel that's pretty accurate.
They did say at the start, it's always the white guys that just get themselves in danger. And
Jada Pinkett says right at the first one, doesn't she? She's like, the black folk always die at the beginning, and it's the white folk making stupid decisions and stuff. But the movie doesn't really change that. The first people that die are the black characters. They still follow that formula, and then they kill off the black characters as soon as they have a good idea.
It's more of a meta commentary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just go
it's
with
like,
it.
we know this is how it should be, but equally.
Then I've got down here, how can Ghostface be at both the school and with the police at the same time? because we go back to the school and we can see Gail is still running. So I've put, there's got to be two murderers. Could it be both Mickey and the reporter? That's what I'm running with at this point.
You're all over that.
So Sydney runs from the police car, witnessing Hallie die. And so where does she go? To the theatre. The most safe place I can picture. Why not go to the police station? Why not go literally anywhere? There's campus security. Go there. No, she goes to the theatre.
Yeah. I guess if you live in this world, do you have any faith in the police or security?
Well, after seeing them just get murdered like that.
Our
no.
only experience of them has been useless. Maybe the police in this world just can't be trusted and you're safer in the theatre.
Yeah. But we find Derek the boyfriend.
Amy, where are you at with... Andy said who he's suspecting at this point. Obviously, we're getting close to the reveal. Where are you at watching this?
Because I've got a note here that says called Sequel Boy. So I knew by this point I had it in my head that it was Sequel Boy. I wasn't sure about there being one or two people yet. I wasn't sure if two people was going to be too similar to the first time. I think I must have only realised about Billy Loomis's mum maybe 2 minutes before she came out. I'm not sure if it was in my head somewhere subconsciously, and then at one point I went, oh, maybe it is, and then it kind of immediately happened. So I've written called. So obviously at some point I thought it was him. Maybe because he kept going on about sequels. I had no other context clues at all.
Okay.
It was just, there were too many people with their backs to doors to think about things logically.
Just trying to keep everybody safe.
Everyone could stay in one place together. It'd be a lot easier. Yeah, it was purely because he was obsessed with sequels, and it just felt more and more, well, obviously it was like a sequel. I had no other logic behind anything.
So in the theatre, we find Derek. He's tied to the thing, and I think he's probably dead at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he was alive. That was a massive surprise for me.
Not for long.
Yeah, and then we get the big reveal that it's Mickey. So he comes down, he gets rid of the modulator, takes the mask off, and reveals himself. I don't get this, but he is just playing mind games with Sydney, trying to make her believe that Derek was involved. Tell him, oh, you can cut the act now. We've got her. What you're doing. And then he shoots him and kills him. And then blames Sydney for not trusting him. I don't get why Derek is messing about with her that much. There's no backstory for that. Yes, Mickey wants to go to court and blame it all on the movies, but antagonizing Sydney doesn't benefit that. It's just a dick move. In my head, he should just kill her and not mess around.
I think to be driven to where he is, he just has to be a dick anyway. So I think he's a murderer and also a knob. Those are conflicting goals at that moment in time.
Yeah, but his big reveal is that it's all about the trial and he wants to go to court and get off, blame all the films, and Bob Hope would defend him. It's like, okay, I don't know who Bob Hope is, but cool.
He says he'll get Cochrane or Hope or something, doesn't he? And referencing the OJ trial and how OJ got really famous because of the trial, because that was obviously televised not long before this.
It's a very 90s thing, because I can remember loads of things in the 90s about video game violence and film violence being bad and it affecting young kids. But, you know, I kind of like that as a motive for the time.
It's a bit Facebook mum nowadays to say, oh, these violent TV shows are turning everyone into killers. It's a bit old, but this was early, I guess, because, you know, 97, people were still getting their names out there for being perpetrators of heinous crimes. It's only after things like when school shootings erupted in the early 2000s and stuff, there was that big shift of, no, we don't celebrate the perpetrator, we talk about the victims and the massacre. Like, you call it Columbine, whereas there was a time before then when the killers were the people whose names got out there. And I think it is trying to make a bit of a commentary on that and how people don't consider victims and killers do get exposure and get famous and get lives out of things. I think it's trying to lend into that a bit.
Yeah, but my next note is Sydney should probably learn self-defense at this point.
Yeah, I was just about to say, and I assume the next 8 films, I don't remember how many there are, I assume by the end of it she is like some sort of master of martial art, because there's no reason for you not to immediately go, I've tried to be killed 2 separate occasions now, I need to do something about this.
Yeah, I feel like after one attempt on my life, I'd be like, I should probably hit the gym a bit more, maybe hit the punch bag a bit.
I mean, she's in America, she could carry a gun.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So Sydney at this point is like having a bit of a back and forth with Mickey, and Mickey is like bigging up Billy Loomis a little bit. And I just get the feeling that from the line where she says, there's one thing you forgot about Billy, and he says, what's that? I killed him. You're enjoying that line a little bit too much, aren't you there, Sydney?
She's a bad bitch at heart.
So then they have a kerfuffle again and they just fight. And then ding, 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 the second person appears and it does the old fake out, makes you think it's Gail, but no, it's the reporter. Both guesses were right.
And the reporter did indeed turn out to be Mrs. Loomis.
Absolutely nailed it there, didn't you?
Yeah. So I just put 2 killers again. That's a bit disappointing.
Sorry, Kev Williamson and Wes Craven. Put your awards back. Andy's got a fucking problem.
I just felt doing it twice in a row. I mean, it makes sense to have 2 killers. Like, with the amount of stuff going on, it had to be 2 killers. It's just a shame that 2 in a row were 2 killers. I mean, I assume going on, it's not always 2 killers because that has to be getting old after a couple of films.
But then how many horrors are out there with just 1 killer? Is it played out when it's 1? Why does it become played out when it's 2? All of the horrors up until now have been 1 killer.
That's true.
Jason, Freddy, blah, blah, blah. Well, Jason, to be fair, was Jason's mum. But, like, they've all been 1 killer, and now we've got 2. Why does a second one with 2 seem played out when there's so many with 1?
I think it's just because the sequel straight away does it. Maybe it's just because I haven't seen many other horror films between it. Maybe it's just that. Like, if a horror fan has seen loads of horror films, maybe it's not.
Well, I actually think Lord of the Rings is shit because there's only 1 dwarf and it's pretty played out. So.
Have I got a film for you, mate? So Mother Loomis then kills Mickey, pretty much explaining that he was just a tool and that his plan just was ridiculous and was never going to work.
Well, he was a hack, wasn't he? Do you remember how she found him?
Yeah, just on some...
Like murder website, yeah.
Yeah, I was searching serial killer website. Actually, there's not that many. Bet that's not true now. But yeah, she was trying to find someone with like genuine experience killing. He had fronted up and talked a big game, so he was just a fucking hack. And she was like, "Oh, well, you're useless, kid."
So it just kills him.
I'd like to know the balance of how many of the kills were her and how many were him, but I don't actually know.
I feel most were him. There are definitely some points where they were both wearing it at the same time.
Because she doesn't seem particularly physically capable, does she?
I was about to say, yeah.
She was definitely more that I'm just going to fuck with Sydney because I want to torture her before I kill her. But then her plan is that to make it look like Sydney and Mickey kill each other, but the gun she shoots Mickey with, she wipes clean and then throws away. You need that in Sydney's hand, so put it down on the floor next to you. Don't just lob it.
I remember thinking this at the time. She didn't see Mrs. Loomis until that point, but I don't know how they didn't cross paths at some point outside the school when you had loads of press there. I feel like I'd be sure that there'd be one point where Sydney would be in this group of reporters. She was obviously actively hiding to not get seen at that point.
Yeah, because they were really close at the opening scene where they all meet, weren't they? Like, she was getting hounded by reporters, and then Gail turns around and she's there, basically.
But is Sydney actively trying to avoid the reporters, and at a glance, because she's had work done, you wouldn't notice? It's an option.
As soon as she sees her in the theatre, she notices, doesn't she? There didn't seem to be any kind of, it's like, oh, I know who you are, and yeah, I know who you are immediately.
He says something about having a makeover.
Mrs. Loomis underwent a dramatic makeover, losing around 60 pounds and getting plastic surgery, so she wouldn't have been immediately recognisable. So yeah, at a glance, when she's, wearing a suit, probably just absolutely not a single thought that would be someone she'd look like.
She goes on to blaming Sydney for Billy's death, which... yeah, fair. Wrong context.
She's got some blame to take, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, Billy probably shouldn't try to kill her.
As a mother, Amy.
Yeah.
Where are your sympathies lying there?
It's tricky. I've not yet raised a killer.
Yet.
So, I mean, they're only young.
At time of recording.
I mean, one of them I could see trying. So I'm not sure how protective I'd be. One of them was to come up to you and said, I'd kill these couple of people. I don't think I'd be like, all right then, keep it quiet.
Let's get the spade.
Yeah.
It's only overlap between her finding out Billy was a murderer and finding out he was murdered. All she's got to go by is the police report. She's not going to believe it, is she? You're not going to believe your child was responsible for these murders if they can't answer for themselves because they've been murdered. You're just going to focus on the fact they've been murdered.
And she does say, Billy was such a sweet boy.
And he was. He climbed up through that window. He tried to finger her. He was sweet.
So we get a bit more wild shooting.
Very wild shooting.
Gail takes one in the side.
Good girl.
And disappears down into like the orchestra pit. Don't see her for a while. But Sydney uses this as an opportunity to be so goddamn dramatic. Like when she got into the Ghostface costume in the first one. There was no need for the thunder and lightning. There was no need for any of that. She could have just ran away. She easily had time to just get out the back door that they came in and escape. But no, she chose violence.
She's born for the theatre, isn't she? We've got to put a bit of drama into this, don't we?
I mean, I feel she has bloodlust, and I would not be surprised if she turns out to be the killer later on in the series.
I think it is a little bit, like you said, her putting on the Ghostface costume in the first one and now making a bit of a scene out of that revenge kill. There is a little bit of something sinister in her, isn't there? There's a little bit of something that and as the way she enjoyed saying that she killed Billy Loomis, like there's something in Sydney in there.
There really is. And then those bricks that she drops on her. The first time in the theatre scene where you see them, it's like, why are you showing me these bricks? But they try and make it look like they're heavy because like the kid goes to pick it up and it's like strains a little bit. It's like, you're not using real bricks in a theatre.
In no world are they not polystyrene.
Yeah.
And she's really surprised when she drops these bricks on it and they don't kill her. It's like, oh, really?
She comes out a bit scuffed. It's like, you wouldn't even have that. They'd just bounce off you.
As much as I'm shitting on it, I love this bit of the film, so I can't.
It's a bit of fun, isn't it?
The fact that that was like the finishing blow was, I will throw some polystyrene bricks at you from a high shelf.
Done my thunder noises, done my lightning, moved the ropes around. Skadoosh, boing, 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 boing.
So then I expected Gale to appear and just shoot her like she did in the first one. But no, that did not happen. Instead, we get Mr. Cotton. Mrs. Loomis is getting pretty desperate, trying to get Cotton to not shoot her and to kill Sydney. But Cotton just wants to meet Diane Sawyer. That's all he wants.
He does, bless him.
And he's a crack shot, luckily, because it could very easily have just shot Sydney. Then Gale appears. Oh, look, she's not dead. And Mickey jumps up. He ain't dead, so they both shoot him. And then, just for good measure, they double tap Miss Loomis right in the head to make sure she's dead.
Nobody dead till they've been shot in the head.
I did question at this point, is Cotton going to prison now because he's murdered someone?
What's your fucking problem, Amy? What have you got against white cis males?
So much. Yeah, I'm thinking, well, technically I appreciate it was self-defense, but technically he now has murdered someone.
And he's already served his time. It's fine. That's how it works.
1 year, which is enough.
Yeah. Time served, tick.
Then the police arrive, the ambulances arrive, and we find out Dewey lives. And
Hey.
furious.
My very last note of this just says, ha ha ha, Dewey is alive.
But the explanation they give is, oh, it hit some old scar tissue.
He was saved by his knife wound, obviously, from the knife wound.
Bulletproof scar.
But we saw blood. We saw so much blood, so that means they stabbed him in the spine again, so he's now probably just full-on paralysed.
It was scar blood.
I mean, how long's it been? He's been bleeding out for what? A good half hour at least.
He was gurgling at one point.
That was scar gurgling.
It's just utter bullshit that he survived. He was dead. The reporters all flock to Cotton and he just says he'll sell them his story to the highest bidder.
No, they go to Sydney first, don't they?
Yeah, sorry.
And they go, Sydney, how does it feel to be a hero? She goes, you should ask Cotton.
She throws him a bone.
So everyone kind of wins. She's like, yeah, get off my fucking case, reporters. Feels like she's done a favour for the guy that she falsely imprisoned for a year. And then he's loving life because he'll be famous when he...
And that's the film.
Yeah.
That's the film.
I was really sad that there weren't more scenes of Stab in the credits. I'd love that if it was as the credits were going, it just had scenes from Stab in it. But no.
How do you feel about that, having a film within a film? Because that, to my knowledge, this is the first time I'd seen it in cinema, having a movie within a movie, particularly a movie about that movie within that movie. How did that go down for you? You seem like you enjoyed it.
I did. I liked it, other than the ridiculousness of the very opening scene where it just doesn't make sense. The rest of it I loved. I loved the idea of it because, yeah, why wouldn't Gale try and cash out on that story? And I could see someone instantly trying to make a movie out of it. I thought in the context of these two films, it makes sense and I liked it.
Nice. What are you in?
Yeah, I think I liked it because I was able to watch some horror and not be as scared as I am normally because there was that little bit of goofiness to it. So I was able to kind of be more present with the film in general. And I quite appreciated that.
Bit of like cognitive dissonance because of the comedy aspect.
It's like, oh yeah, people are dying, but it's really funny. So it's okay.
I'm sure in the pre-watch you said this would be gorier than the first one, and I don't think it was. I feel the first one went so much harder than this one did.
I think if you were to rewatch it or just watch the kills again, you'd reassess that. But at first watch, you have got that dissonance of it getting a bit funnier and having a bit more of a world being built of this fourth wall, second screen and all that. I think it detracts from the killing and the gore. It's definitely still there.
And I feel like, I think Reece said it earlier, the first one felt more psychological. Like I said, quite a lot of things were individual murders in kind of places, where these felt more like group situations. And I think that's to me why it didn't feel as horror being killed by yourself is scarier than being hunted, let's say, with other people isn't as scary because you've got people to share it with. Having that by yourself, it means that then in the real world, when you step away from that film, you're by yourself a lot. Like I'm by myself now in this room. And so therefore I'm thinking, oh, something could happen. But because there were a lot more group shots, apart from obviously the very last scene in the first one. Yeah, this one had a lot more group shots and that made me feel like it just wasn't as scary.
The kills are definitely more significant in the first one because you're thinking about them the following night when you're turning your lights off.
Yeah.
So I think they linger a little bit more. So I'll start with Amy because I think I know my Andy's answer. So was this what you expected going into Scream 2 based on Scream 1?
No, I was prepped from what you said that it was going to be high budget, things were going to be worse. And you said things were going to be gorier, and in my head that meant worse, as in scarier, because those two things are very correlated. So I went in with a much almost worse expectation of how much I was going to be able to watch. I think we said in the pre-watch that I didn't know if I was going to make it to the end of the film based on if it was going to be worse than last time. So the fact that I was able to make it to the end of the film and not be as scared afterwards as I still am now, a year later, after watching Scream, it felt different to how I thought it would feel. But I like that because it meant that I could enjoy it a little bit more, which is nice.
Good. What about you, mate?
I liked the film. However, it did feel dramatically different to the first one. There was a lot less whodunit. Any sense of this is the pattern just gets thrown out the window the second they come up with it. So it seems less like a whodunit and just killing for the sake of killing, but it does make sense in the story. And 1 and 2 together make sense. It's not like number 2 was just thrown together because the first one made money, which I like. They did feel like a pair to go together. I preferred the first one to the second one. Didn't you say the second one was generally regarded as better?
So critics definitely lean towards the second one. I think Rotten Tomatoes, it was in the high 80s or mid 80s. But actual, fans, it's about 50-50, you know.
I mean, I can appreciate why people would prefer the second one, but I don't know. There was just maybe just because I haven't seen a horror movie in such a long time when I watched Scream. I don't know. I just preferred it. I'm not 100% sure why. I just did. Maybe it's just more conventional horror than the second one, but it's not exactly conventional, but you know.
Yeah, I think the context is important. If you're gearing up to watch a horror, Scream 2 will disappoint you, but Scream won't. But equally, if you have some experience with the genre and you've watched a horror you liked and you're gearing up to watch the sequel, you are so used to watching shit sequels that the bar is incredibly low. So I think that's probably why it was received really well, because horror sequels are notoriously awful.
I would watch it again. I did enjoy it. It's just a bit different.
And how are you feeling about the kind of world that's being built as well? Like, we've got a couple of characters that are still alive, same ones that were alive in the last one apart from Randy. We've got a bit more of a sense of the world and how it works and how it functions and the wider reach. And now we've got this movie that's being made, the books being written. Are we kind of enjoying that wide thing or just feeling like it's an excuse to make more movies?
I like it as long as they don't use that as an excuse for a third film.
You're saying that 7 films in, Andy?
I think I mentioned in the last one, the first 3 were planned.
Okay.
First 3 movies were kind of outlined when the first was released. So the second and third will definitely deliberate.
Like Star Wars.
The details of them, absolutely, there was still lots left to be done, and the scripts were written quick because I think there was probably about 40 pages of the script made up when it was actually put into production, and it would be kind of directed on the fly. But the bones of the story and how it links to the previous ones, that's kind of deliberate. So even the third one hopefully doesn't feel like it's just pulled together for a cash grab. We'll have a look at the predictions that you made then. So, have you got the list in front of you there?
Some of these are from the last episode we did a year ago, and some of them are from before you watched this film. So the first one, you thought Billy or Shaggy may come back.
Was this whose prediction was this? Mine or
Let's
Amy's?
just say if they were wrong, they were yours.
I think you both mentioned it. It was in the pre-watch, I think. Yeah, you were both kind of like, oh God, I hope they don't come back, but I bet they do.
Were you right?
No.
I did watch the film, but were you right?
No.
Sorry. You also thought Cotton would come back and get framed?
No.
That didn't really happen.
Half
He came back.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they didn't try and pin it on him more.
I mean, people treated him like he was guilty for a lot of the film, but yeah, he wasn't framed for this one. Thought there'd be more locations. Correct, yeah.
That's right.
Amy, you thought someone has seen Sid on the news and wants to get involved?
I mean, films in the news.
Yeah, and you kind of baited to feel that way with the reporter. Like, she just wants to get involved because it's Sydney.
Arguably, that's why Mickey's there. He was hooked in because he was aware of the story.
Andy, you think it's Billy's mum?
Don't know I don't know how I pulled that out.
Yeah, you knew all along.
Bro, you made that prediction in the post-watch of Scream 1.
Yeah.
You probably don't remember.
Not shocked at all, so of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? Yeah.
How did you feel when I made that prediction last year?
I was very disappointed. I just felt really stupid because, like I said, I watched these in the hundreds of times, and probably every other year I forget it's Billy's mum. So the fact that you clocked on the first time watching the first one, I'm usually watching the second one being like, oh yeah, it's her. So I felt very dumb, but that's not exclusive to this moment in time, to be honest.
Andy, you also wondered whether there'd be a man with a little hand in this film.
Now, this is interesting because we talked about how Scary Movie obviously came out in 2000 or 2001, and it centered itself on Scream 1, 2, and 3, but mostly it's just Scream 1 and Scream 2. I can't remember if 3 maybe as well. But the aspects of Scream that are in ScaryMovie are in 1 and 2, so you notice a few of each. So you've got the ear penis thing.
Yeah.
You had the lady in the cat flap. There was a few more bits in this one as well. The running to the room at the back of the screen, like obviously you can see where he's running to, but the character can't. And then the "you gotta take my little hand" guy in Scary Movie 2, it's meant to be a reference to Dewey with his
Damaged
Yeah.
nerve damage, yeah.
Oh, poor Dewey.
Yeah,
That was all the predictions.
really fucking solid.
Yeah.
I'm a bit disappointed, to be honest.
I could throw some wild ones out for Scream 3.
I
Go on, then.
think definitely.
So is this becoming an annual tradition? Have you got any predictions going ahead for Scream 3?
So you kept saying, and I feel like it won't be Scream 3, it'd be like Onwards, that they were hinting at him being not a person. And my first thought when you said not a person is that it would be like an animal.
A velociraptor.
So I
Just a gorilla.
So you said, oh, it might not be a person. I'm thinking, is it like a dog? Is it how are they getting an animal to kill someone?
It's Billy's dog.
Then I went to like, oh no, maybe he means like a ghost of some sort, like actual ghost. And then I thought we went back then to like Scooby Doo, and it's like looks like a ghost, but it's just a guy. But then that's what we're watching now, I suppose. It'd be just like a guy with like a projector or something, making it look scary. With like glass plates. Prediction 1, tick that off.
Hang on. What's the prediction?
Tick!
Scooby-Doo, Reese, keep up.
Scooby Doo. It has dogs.
So Shaggy's in the first film. It's all hinted from the start.
Could be a dog or it could be a paranormal fake ghost, which are both in Scooby Doo.
So non-human killer is what you said.
Yeah.
A non-human paranormal fake ghost that's also a dog.
Yeah, write that one down. So we've done school, then we went to college, so now we must be at work. Like, if she was going to be an actor, we've already done the theatre as that last showdown, so we can't do that. That one's gone. Yeah, so she's gone, no, theatre's not for me. Too many guys in masks. I'm going to go work in an office.
In a fancy dress shop.
That would be the worst. You know, if she does that, then she deserves it, if I'm honest. If she makes it through all 7 films, then at some point I think she's the killer.
Scream 3, she's just selling Ghostface merch.
Yeah, I just assume at work. That feels like the natural progression of what they consider a person's life to do next. It can't be a revenge because we've just had revenge. We can't be copycat, we've just had copycat. What else is there for a reason why people would kill people? Has Mrs. Loomis remarried and got someone else, and now he's angry that she's dead, and so he has to go and kill her? There you go. There's my
Mickey's mum.
It's mums all the way down.
next time. It's one person. It's just a woman. There you go. And then it's the ghost dog.
I'm going to build off of what you just said about it going school, college. I reckon next one is going to be her work, but I reckon she's going to stick with like the theatre and go into movies. I really hope it's not, but maybe it's like Stab 2 and she's working on it for some reason, or she's just working on some film. Maybe the film's not doing too good. Maybe the director's like, ooh, maybe we can get some insurance if this film gets called off because there are so many murders on the film, because Sydney works there. Do it that way, so the murderer will be, I don't know, like a director or an understudy, because we mentioned there were no understudies in this one.
Yes.
So maybe
all coming back now.
I like that.
So female murderer, like you said,
understudy in a film she's in. 3 murderers this time because it's Scream
So
3.
it could be 3 screams.
This could just be those sorority girls. I have no idea.
Oh,
But you kept mentioning that he goes supernatural, so maybe they do use some special effects. It's the special effects guy.
Or Billy comes back from the dead.
I fucking hope not.
if you make that prediction for every Scream movie, then one of them's bound to be right.
You said that they keep making a prediction that Shaggy is going to come back in the films. I really hope that's not the case. I hope once they're dead in this, and there's a solid you're alive or dead, there's no, ooh, they can come back. So I'm going to assume no, everyone stays dead. But there will be special effects to make it look like he's supernatural.
Scooby-Doo.
About the Shaggy coming back prediction, Matthew Lillard's in this movie.
What? He's in Scream 2?
You saw Matthew Lillard in Scream 2.
As the same character?
No.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter then, does it?
He's credited as Guy at Party. So I think he's in this, is it Sorority Party or a different one? I can't remember. He is seen in the background hugging Mickey. So he's in this movie.
New prediction.
Yeah, evil twin, done.
New prediction.
Evil ghost twin.
Yeah, evil twin. Well, it can't really be the evil twin. Same twin.
Yeah, I was going to say, how much eviler does it get?
So for Scream 2, do you have any top scary moments? Any favourite moments?
Scariest moment would probably be when they're in the car with the dead police officer and they've got to climb over Ghostface, because that is, yeah, I don't know if it's scariest, but it's definitely one of the tenser moments, and you really feel for her for that. My favourite moment though is definitely just all the stab.
Yeah.
Stab it.
Yeah, I love that shit, you know. I'm a big fan of movie within movie silly bullshit.
What about you, Amy?
For my scariest, bearing in mind that I couldn't necessarily physically watch all the super tense bits, I was kind of I had to look down, look up a lot for those bits. But the bit that I did catch because it caught me off guard, even though I knew it was going to happen logically, was when he gets pulled into the van. And I can still kind of remember the heart rate shooting up and the adrenaline. We just kind of see, don't go to the van, oh no, it's there. And he also just gets yanked in the door and the door closed. And that for me was the scariest bit. I think my best bit is always going to be that reveal at the end for what has been going on. Kind of everything gets tied up in a nice bow and it all makes sense.
It's always nice, isn't it? Even when they over-explain a little bit, it's just still good. Love that Agatha Christie moment, don't you?
Yeah.
What about you, Mark? What was your favourite bit of the movie you definitely watched?
Oh, the part with the murders. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as Scream 1. The tone was a bit different. I wouldn't call this a horror. There was some tense action bits, but none of it was I didn't feel scared of the killer in this one. It was just a series of unfortunate events that I was witnessing rather than anything to be worried about. Like you say, there's no kills in it that made me go, oh, I've got to go and sit in the dark on my own and think about that. It didn't leave that impression. It was just an action film more than anything, a thriller maybe. But the part in the police car was pretty tense. There's just too many goofy moments in between, the incompetent police officers, and I was distracted by all the cameos as well. I just kept going, oh, it's them from that. They were really big 5 years after this, right from the start with Omar Epps. I was like, oh, it's Dr. Foreman from House. What's he doing here? And it's it was good to see them getting a really high caliber of actor, even if they weren't big at the time. Don't think I've seen Scream 3, so it will be fresh to me. And it had been a while since I'd seen this one, so I only remembered the big kills, the odd faces, like Buffy getting killed. I remembered that. Yeah, I think Scream 3 will be completely fresh to me. Keen going forward. I might be, sat on Andy and Amy's side of the fence for the next one.
Do you want to make any predictions for Scream 3 then?
See, I'm not sure if I've seen it, and I've seen bits of promo material for later Screams, so I think I won't say anything now in case I'm right.
How are you two feeling about watching the third one? Are you enjoying the franchise so far? And are you keen to watch the third, or am I just forcing you?
I'm definitely not as apprehensive as I was about 1 and then about 2, especially knowing that they were all planned at the same time. And now I'm intrigued that Shaggy was in 2 and is going to be in 3 and how that would work, and definitely a little bit more excited than I was for this one and the other one.
Good.
I'm excited to watch the third one. A bit dubious about watching past that as they weren't planned, but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it in 2028.
I am fucking gutted that we're doing this annually now. That was never my intention. We fucking started this podcast to do 2 movies, and we were going to do all the screens within a year, and now I have to wait 8 fucking years. All of our kids will be in school by the time we catch up to the movies that are out now.
Mine will be finished at GCSEs.
Yours will be editing this podcast.
But I think when Scream 10 comes out, we can all go and see
Oh,
it.
yeah.
That is going to be a fucking class day out, to be fair.
Us and our kids.
But no, I'm glad you're excited for it. Like, I'm really glad I'm able to share this thing that I love so much and find that you're not hating it as much as I thought you would, to be fair. So I'm really happy with that.
So if you had to rate Scream 2, what would you give it?
Out of 10, I think I would give it a 7.
Oh, yeah.
I'd give Scream 1 an 8, but Scream 2 I'd definitely give a 7. I enjoyed it. I'd watch it again.
Yeah, I was going to say 7. I enjoyed the first one more, but I'm more likely to watch the second one again. But I still thought the first one was a little bit better.
The first one just hit a little bit different. This one just felt like a continuation with fewer shocks. But yeah, it's still pretty enjoyable. So if you want to join the Dead Spot Cinema Club, you can find us as DSCC Podcast on Instagram and YouTube. You could also join our Discord following the link in the description.
Add a comment or a rating on whatever you're listening on. Really helps the podcast grow, blah, blah, blah.
I don't want them to do that.
Please, even if it's negative, just comment on
Yeah.
how sexy my voice is.
Any clicks, likes, or subscribes will really help the podcast. Right, do you want to do your sign off?
Okay, let's see what ChatGPT can give us.
Have you not already done that? What were you doing?
No, bro!
What were you just doing?
You said you were doing
I
it.
was doing it for the socials thing. I thought I was going to do the socials call out.
Yeah, you literally told Mark to do it.
And that is our episode for Scream 2. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to you joining us again. That's all from me, Andy, Amy, and Mark. And we are the Dead Spot Cinema Club. Thank you for joining us. Bye.
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 Goodbye.
Bye.